Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the moon shone silver and the rivers whispered secrets, there lived a girl named Lysandra. She was kind and clever, but fate had been cruel. Her stepmother and stepsisters treated her as nothing more than a servant. Yet, Lysandra never let their unkindness dim her spirit, for she often whispered her wishes to the moon, hoping it would listen. Each night, she would steal away to the garden, her only sanctuary, and gaze up at the sky. She believed the moon held magic, that it could hear the wishes of those who spoke to it with true longing. Her mother, before she passed, had told her so. And so, despite her suffering, Lysandra never ceased to hope. One fateful evening, as she wept beneath the great willow tree, a soft glow illuminated the garden. From the shimmer of moonbeams, a woman stepped forward, her robes woven from strands of silver light. "You have suffered much, dear child," she said, her voice like the hush of evening winds. "But tonight, your wish shall be granted." With a wave of her hand, Lysandra's rags transformed into a gown that shimmered like the night sky, deep blue with stars twinkling at its hem. A delicate mask, adorned with silver filigree, appeared upon her face, and glass slippers, glowing faintly, graced her feet. "But beware," the moon enchantress warned. "The magic fades when the last sliver of moonlight touches the horizon." Lysandra arrived at the royal ball, stepping through the grand doors with an air of quiet grace. Gasps of admiration followed her as nobles turned to stare. The chandeliers cast golden light over the dazzling guests, but none shone brighter than her. The prince, standing at the top of the marble staircase, found himself drawn to her instantly. "May I have this dance?" he asked, extending a hand. Lysandra hesitated, but when she met his gaze, she saw not the arrogance she expected of royalty, but kindness and curiosity. She placed her hand in his, and they stepped onto the dance floor. They moved as if they had danced together in another life, gliding effortlessly across the polished floor. He asked about her dreams, and she told him of the stories she longed to write, the places she wished to see. In turn, he spoke of his desire to be a ruler who listened to his people, not just a prince trapped in a gilded cage. As they danced, a noblewoman watched from the shadows. Lady Seraphina, an ambitious courtier with secrets of her own, recognized the magic shimmering around Lysandra. She had spent years searching for the moon enchantress, and saw Lysandra as proof that the legend was true. If she could find a way to seize such magic for herself, she could rule the kingdom from behind the throne. Time slipped away like sand through fingers, and before she knew it, the first hints of dawn appeared on the horizon. Panic surged through Lysandra. "I must go," she whispered, stepping back. "Wait, at least tell me your name," the prince pleaded, but she was already running. As she fled down the grand staircase, one of her enchanted slippers slipped from her foot, left behind as she vanished into the night. The prince searched the kingdom, determined to find the girl who had captured his heart. He traveled from village to village, bringing the glass slipper to every young woman who wished to try it. But as the search went on, whispers began spreading. Lady Seraphina had planted rumors that the girl with moonlit magic was dangerous, an enchantress who bewitched the prince. Some nobles believed the tales, urging the prince to abandon his search. Meanwhile, Lysandra's stepmother, having heard the rumors, locked her away in the attic. Despair threatened to take hold of her, but Lysandra refused to surrender to fate. She began crafting a plan, using her wits as her greatest weapon. She sent a message, hidden within the embroidery of a servant's apron, pleading for help from the moon enchantress. She did not know if the message would reach its destination, but she had no other choice. One stormy night, as she sat by the attic window, she saw a silver light flickering in the distance. The moon enchantress had received her plea. The next morning, the prince arrived at Lysandra's home. Her stepsisters shoved forward, each desperately attempting to squeeze their feet into the delicate shoe, but the slipper fit none. Just as the prince was about to leave, a voice faint yet determined called out from above, "Please, wait!" A gust of wind pushed open a forgotten window, allowing the moonlight to stream into the room. The prince turned toward the attic door, his heart pounding. He ordered the guards to break it open, revealing Lysandra, breathless and hopeful. Her stepmother protested, but the prince ignored her. As soon as the slipper graced Lysandra's foot, a glow of moonlight surrounded her, and she stood once more in her gown of stars. The prince's breath caught. "It was you all along," he murmured. "You are the one I have been searching for. Will you share your dreams with me forever?" Tears glistened in Lysandra's eyes, but this time they were of joy. "Yes," she whispered. But before they could leave, a shattering sound echoed through the room. Lady Seraphina stepped forward, holding a darkened shard of broken glass. "This magic belongs to me," she hissed, striking the ground with the fragment. A shadowy force erupted, threatening to consume them both. Thinking quickly, Lysandra reached into her gown and pulled forth the moon pendant her mother had left her. The enchantment within pulsed with light, countering Seraphina's dark magic. The room filled with silver radiance, dissolving the shadows and rendering Seraphina powerless. Guards rushed forward to seize the treacherous noblewoman. Yet, even as Seraphina was taken away, Lysandra felt something stir within her. The magic of the moon had chosen her, and she realized she was no longer simply a girl with wishes. She had become something more, a guardian of the moon's power. With Seraphina defeated and her cruel stepfamily left behind, Lysandra took the prince's hand, stepping into a future she had once only dreamed of. But she did not forget her past. She worked to change the laws of the land, ensuring kindness, justice, and protection for those who had been cast aside. No longer just a queen, she became a legend, a ruler who listened to the whispers of the night and the dreams of her people. And so, with the moon as their witness, Lysandra's wish came true. No longer a servant, but a queen who ruled with kindness and wisdom, she never stopped whispering her dreams to the moon, knowing it had always listened. Yet even as she ruled, the whispers of the moon never faded. One night, as she stood upon the castle balcony, she heard a familiar voice carried upon the wind. "Lysandra," it murmured, "your journey has only begun." And deep within her heart she knew this was only the beginning of her destiny.